Dance Your Heart on Fire podcast, episode number 17.
Passion, sacrifice, I think they go together in this case. Because if I didn't have that passion, I will not sacrifice as I sacrifice of things. And I will not fought the way that I fought for kizomba and the love and the connection and everything that I wanted to share. That moment, trying to make people understand that kizomba is something that you really need to experience, And that passion made me break a lot of walls, personal walls and society walls.
Welcome to the Dance Your Heart on Fire podcast, the podcast dedicated to inspiring dancers worldwide whose hearts have been touched by music and dance. The universal language of dance and music is spoken by many of us throughout the world. We want to motivate the dancer in you by sharing stories, insights, and ideas to enhance your journey. Join us now with your host, Charles Ogar.
Hello, everyone. This is Charles with the Dance Your Heart on Fire podcast. And today is a very special podcast episode because we have the one and only Mr. Albir Rojas on the line with us today to interview us here for the listeners on the Dance Your Heart on Fire podcast. And it's going to be really, really exciting because, if you're any part of the kizomba world, you should know who Albir is. Albir has been one of the founding fathers really pushing kizomba out there worldwide for several years now. So it's been really an honor to interview him here for you guys. And without further ado, I'll let Albir say hello.
Hello, people. Yeah, how are you? Well, how are you? You can answer, but hope you are good. Thank you for keep kizomba growing. Thank you for following Charles. And thank you for following me in some videos, but mainly Charles because he's doing, in my opinion, he's doing a great job. Plus, he been with a lot of patience on me, like a lot of time. So finally, we are doing, we are here talking. So it's perfect now. So it's really, really nice to have this opportunity. And Charles, again, thank you for your patience. Thank you for all your words. Thank you for all this good energy you have given to me in all these years, because it's been now a lot of years. Mm-hmm. Thank you for all the comments you put on Facebook, you wrote on Facebook, and you're still writing on Facebook, and keep going with this kizomba passion, love, and this great feeling that move us.
Definitely. No, I understand. I'm a pretty patient person overall. I travel. I don't travel as much as you, obviously, but I travel a little bit, and I get how it can be crazy. And then with the jet lag and being in different countries, and then it's crazy, balancing the kizomba life and your personal life and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to talk about that kind of stuff here with the podcast. So before we get into kizomba, I just wanted to let the people know a little bit more about you personally. So the questions that I have here is like, okay, where were you born? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Things like that.
Okay. I was born in Panama. Some of you are from Panama. I live in Spain, but I grew up in Panama. I was there till I moved here to Spain when I was 21. So my whole life till 21 was in there. Brothers and sisters, I have my sister from mom and dad, and then I have from my dad with another woman. I have a step brother and step sister. Mm-hmm. We have a good every time people go, but you have a good relationship. Yeah, we have a good relationship. And that's it. It's like that. And yeah.
How often do you get to go and visit Panama?
It's complicated. Last time I went was last Christmas.
Okay.
But before that, I was 2 years without going. Now I went in Christmas, so I have to wait again 2 or 3 more years to go back again. That's the way I try to do it, because I want, and I like to spend some the Christmas also in here sometimes, and summer, because normally before, some years ago, I used to go in Europe summer, but in there is not it's not summer, it's the raining season.
In December.
Yeah, no, in August.
Okay.
August. So I like to enjoy also summer in here and Christmas in here. So it depends. I organize the trips depending on the year, what I have to do, where I have to travel, etc., etc.
Okay, no problem. And two other personal questions I have here for you. What would you consider is your favorite food, and what would you consider your favorite color?
My favorite food, I like to eat a lot. Actually, I like every kind of food except guts. I don't like guts.
Guts like intestines. Yeah. Some people eat that from the pig and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't like that. And I well, actually like everything, but mainly seafood.
Okay.
I love with seafood.
Like shrimps,
lobster.
Okay.
All that kind of thing.
Okay, awesome. And your favorite color?
Favorite color, like I have a lot. Well, not a lot, but some of them. But I think favorite is purple, and I like also white.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Maybe I'll use those colors for the podcast image.
Yeah, nice.
All right. So now that our audience knows a little bit more about you personally, let's talk about your dance journey. And I'm pretty sure that your dance journey did not start with kizomba. So let's share with our listeners your first dance experience. How did you first get involved just to dance in general?
When I was in high school, I was 14, 14, almost 15. And in Panama, we have like a big, it's not culture, but like a tradition of, in every high school, you have like dance competitions. And they are really like serious. You really train.
Okay.
You look for good instructors. You really are into those choreography because you want to win in your high school and you want to win to the other high schools.
So do the winners of each high school then compete together to see who's going to be the best one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have like big we call it in Spanish, competencias intercolegiales.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So competition between the colleges.
Yes, that's it. But the first time there were some friends that they were competing, but in this time they were doing a show for the school, for the high school. And I was watching them but they were friends like 2 years above me, so they were older than me, and they were having this show. And the dance, I remember the music was a combination of traditional Congo music from my country and like a fusion, a really modern African fusion.
So hold on. You said Congo.
Yeah.
In Panama.
Yeah, we dance. We have a Congo culture.
Interesting.
Congo,
because Angola and Congo used to be the same entity.
Yes, but in Panama we have a lot of cultures. We have a lot of Chinese, a lot of Indians, a lot of Spanish, a lot from the United States because of the Panama Canal. Also because of the Panama Canal, because of the construction, many slaves, they came to work for the hand labor from the United States
for sure.
and the French people, that they were running all the Panama construction. They were mainly enslaved from Africa, from the West Indies. So from really long time ago, I grew up in my time. I grew up with compa music, with zouk music, but I didn't know about that. For me, it was normal to listen to that music, calypso. Those music for me, they were normal.
So you've been exposed to a lot of cultures already, just from the beginning, just because of the logistics of where you were in Panama.
That's it. Okay. So, for example, I have in the Panama, the capital is a lot of culture, as I said before. But in the north, where people they actually come, all the hand working and everything. There are many people from the West Indies, Africa. So we have a big African black culture in the north. But in the east and the west, we have like Indians, really Indians. You know, we have a big mix in Panama.
Interesante. I didn't know it was that mixed, but I mean, thinking about the history and thinking about the Panama Canal and then all of the trade between all the different countries, of course, you're going to have people with that as well. Cool. Okay, so back to the dance competition.
So we were doing a show. Well, to make it a summary, one of my friends couldn't make it in that show, so they asked me. And I was like, no, but I don't dance. But one of my friends, she really know me. And she said, no, yeah, I know that you can dance. I saw you dancing before. Because she knew my mom and everything. So she was like, you know, she was pushing me to do that. And I did. And was one of the best feelings I had at that moment. To participate in a choreography, you know, in a group choreography. So for me, that was the first time, and I started. Well, actually, no. The first time was Michael Jackson at my house. You know, everyone started like that.
You know, Quenda Lima also did the same thing, imitating Michael Jackson when he was young.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that or not, but I interviewed him on my podcast, and he said that was his first dance experience, and it wasn't just like something for fun for him. It was like serious. Like he wanted to like learn his moves, and he wanted to perform.
Well, my experience was not to perform, but actually, I started with Michael Jackson, and everyone has like their number one Michael Jackson song. My top one is Smooth Criminal.
Okay.
That song made me crazy to dance in my house. Like, you know, I want to do the you know, the leaning, but everyone for. But yeah, first Michael Jackson at your house, but after that, you know, I dance. I just dance at my home, but I dance as I was feeling. But then I had this experience with my friends, and then I started to participate in some. Well, after that, no. Before that, and I'm sorry to be so annoying.
No, it's okay.
Before that, I started to dance in some kind of classroom competitions when MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, those guys, they came into. I was finishing college. I was starting high school. And yeah, but I was really bad. Really. I'm not that good in that, but I was really bad. But I felt that I need to dance, you know. And I was in competition, but every time I was like the loser. But I started like that. Then it comes these competitions, and then I start to participate in these like big competitions in high school. So we have like group of dancers in the high school, and we were going to train in some like really academies, you know, dance schools, and train and everything. That's the way, but mainly hip hop. We were dancing hip hop and Latin dance, but Latin dances like merengue, salsa, you know.
Yes, for sure. Okay.
And that's the way I started, yes.
Awesome. So that's awesome. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can kind of see your hip hop influence in the way that you dance now. And we'll talk later on in the podcast about your fusion of kizomba with other dance things and how you started that and things like that. But let's go ahead and tell the story of how you found kizomba or how kizomba found you.
I don't know. I think kizomba found me.
Yeah,
because I was when I was in Panama when I was 21 that I left Panama. I was studying, working, and dancing. I was just dancing. At that moment, after the high school and everything, I was lucky to have the opportunity to participate in musicals and TV programs.
As a dancer.
Yes, as a professional in Panama. But no, not just hip hop. I started training because I was in hip hop, with my friends, then like in a crew, then on the streets, then in a school, then in another school. Then. So I was saying that I started doing the competition in high school. Then I started working in some musicals. Then
So you were a full-time dancer? Like that was your job?
Studying.
While you were studying. Okay.
Because, in Panama, dancing was not an official job, right? Entre comillas. So my family, they were like, no, you need to have a normal job. So I tried to work in an office because when I graduated from high school, my título, my degree was accounting.
Accounting. So if you weren't doing dancing now, you will be an accountant.
I think, yeah.
Albir Rojas CPA.
Maybe, yeah. So I was working in office and I like the mathematics, accounting, mathematics, not the other ones. But I hate to be in an office for 8 hours. That was my thing. So when I discovered that I was not into that, I was dancing, working, and studying, and it was too much. So I decided that I need to stop something. So when I decided to stop working, well, my family was like, "No, you cannot do that." Blah 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 blah. I said, "I want to continue studying because in that time I was also interested in marketing. I studied marketing. I studied production. I did all of that." But I stopped working in office. So everyone was like, no, that's not good. So I started working in dance. And actually, I started working in musicals, as I was saying before. Musicals, TV, a lot of festivals in there, jazz festivals. I took classes for 2 years of ballet, to have technique of jazz, contemporary, because in Panama, if you dance, if you as a boy you dance, is like the same as being gay, So that was another problem with my family. But I was like, if I'm gay, you have to love me the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but no, and it's true that in I moved in an 80% of homosexual environment. But I was not. But I really like the mentality of them. The way they live, the way they express themselves with no barriers. So that's why I was comfortable in that environment, really comfortable. So they actually were the ones who said, "No, Albir, you need to take technical classes." So I took ballet and everything. After that, then I start like really moving into the dance scene in Panama, in really professional. So I start winning money, earning money, and then my family is like, "Oh yeah, you are dancing, you are good, and actually you can have your own money from that." I was like, "Yeah, I told you I want to dance." So when I went I came to Spain, I actually was dancing, and I started to learn really the ballroom and the Latin dances, salsa, bachata, everything.
So you moved away from Panama to Spain to pursue your dancing?
No, to study, to continue studying.
Okay, to continue studying accounting.
No. I studied in Panama marketing and TV production, and I came here to study filmmaking.
Okay, so that's what got you to move from Panama to Spain to study more. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. But then the first year I was studying, I didn't dance. But the second year I started in one school, and then so on. I started in one school, two school, three school, teaching hip hop. But me, when I was teaching, some teachers they need guys for the classes. So I started staying in the salsa and the ballroom, all these classes. So I started to learn. Then I became what they call taxi dancers right now in ballroom.
Okay.
Salsa. So I started learning. Then I started teaching salsa and ballroom. I had one class of Latin dances classes on Fridays, I remember. And I was teaching, salsa, bachata, cha-cha, merengue, etc., etc. And I had one student. He was from Lisbon, but the background origins from Africa, And he told me, and he asked me, you don't teach kizomba in here? And I was like, kizomba, what's that? I don't know what's kizomba. And he said, okay, next class, so next Friday, I will bring you music. And he brought me the music, he played the music, and I just fell in love.
What was the music? What was the song?
I like it. Ting, 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 ting. I like it. Ting.
Is that Kaisha?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. That's gonna be your intro song for the podcast.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, we can dance this. And he was like, yeah. Then I asked one other student, and actually she was my friend, and she was like, yeah, I know how to dance kizomba. She started to teach me the basics, and I learned the basics because, but she said, yeah, to do the steps, but you don't have the flow. I was like, so how can I get the flow? And she said, when you get it, you will feel it, and you will know that and it's true. 1 or 2 years after, no, 3 years after, because it was long for me when I started, I was like, now I get it. Now I really get it. And that's the way I started with kizomba. Because of one student, actually, I didn't see him anymore, and I still, if I see him, I just want to say thank you. Because if he have how you say that in English?
If he didn't introduce you or didn't tell you
about kizomba, maybe I will be still dancing bachata or more. I don't know.
So you were already an instructor of salsa and bachata and Latin dances even before you were a teacher for kizomba.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you teach hip hop as well before?
Yes, I was teaching also hip hop. I started teaching hip hop in Spain. Yeah.
So it was just part of what you were doing to earn more money in dance, was also becoming an instructor outside of like doing performances and musicals and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything in particular that like got you to want to start teaching? Was it just a normal thing, or did you prefer teaching over performing?
I like. I was more used to perform, and last year I was in Panama. I started teaching just last year, so I came in here but mainly because in here I started because I need that money, work. And the only like really good thing that I could do in here was dancing, because I was studying, and I was just with study papers to be in Spain, so I couldn't work like official job. So I was like studying, but I needed to earn a little money to be in here, because it was complicated the first years. So mainly because of that, but then I started learning how to really teach. It was experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the pressures that you had to overcome to continue dancing. Because you said you had pressure from your family, you had pressure from society of being too feminine, being too gay, and things like that. And I'm pretty sure like sometimes it makes you question, like, should I dance, or should I just conform to society and just do my accounting degree and make everybody else happy, but I'm not really happy, So how was that experience for you? And was there somebody that in particular that kind of motivated you to stay on the path of dance?
I was clear. I wanted to dance.
It was already.
Huh?
It was already clear that was your decision. You were going to dance no matter what.
Yeah, but the thing that I was worried about is to make my family not proud, I was like, I want to dance, and I will really try to let them know that I really want this, and I can do this in a really good way. So they will really understand that I really want to do this, and it's not just a game, But in that path, I had to took decisions. Like, for example, my dad, he works in the Panama Canal, actually, in one of the locks, and to work in there is really hard. He found the way to put me in and work in there.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I was working. I said, no, this is not my way, the way I want to live. And when I said that I was going to stop that job, wow, it was really sad. But I was like, I really want to dance. And I think at that moment when I say I want to stop this job, he realized that I really wanted to dance. Like, really, really wanted to dance. But he was worried about, the environment.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure, a parent is going to want the best for their children, and it's hard for them to see dreams and to see your kid do something that's not necessarily normal, quote unquote normal. I have a little bit of the same thing with my family and with my parents, because my dad, he has a business and he does a freight forwarding. So he does packaging materials and shipping to Nigeria. And I was working for him before that, but there was a time where you just had to kind of okay, I don't want to do this. I want to do something else, and I want to dance, and it's not something that's normal, but now that I've been doing it for a couple of years, it's okay, he's good. It's more of an acceptance now, because at the end of the day, you want your kids to be happy. So I can relate to that.
Yeah. It's exactly the same.
Awesome. Okay, so you're performing, you're teaching, you found out about this kizomba dance, then you fell in love with it, you heard Kaisha and things like that. When did kizomba take over your life? When did you decide to leave the Latin world and the other things that you were doing and focus only on kizomba? How did that transition go?
It was smooth.
It was smooth?
Yeah, because I didn't stop doing hip hop, music, salsa. No, I was still teaching everything. I kept going with the salsa, bachata, ballroom, everything, hip hop even, and kizomba. I was still dancing taxi dancer in some discotheques and some and then I had a dance school with one partner, but then we have a fight, so I stopped. But there was actually, then I knew Sara Lopez, and we start doing little things by bachata, and then we start with kizomba. I called her, you want to do kizomba and fuse it, because we already fused the bachata with the hip hop. So it was the first time we did bachata fusion was in 2007. And people, I think they like it. Yeah, because they were like, oh, nice comments at that time, with the fusion and everything. So maybe, then I don't know if I have to say this. Then I was in a reality dance show.
Really?
Yeah.
In Spain?
Yeah, here in Spain.
Okay. How did that go?
For me, it was really good. A really nice opportunity. Because it was not just a reality show. People making stories inside the house. Actually, I was inside the house and living in there. but it was you were dancing. Actually, there was dance like competition between the couples and group competitions, and yeah, it was a nice experience. At that time, then the TV show it finished, and I used that moment to create the school with my partner. Was my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at that time. So we created the school and we started, I need this TV show helped to do because, it helped. But then with Sara Lopez, I start doing the choreographies, and we start with kizomba, and actually we start fusioning, making fusion.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. And we participate in Africa Danzar, the first. And from there, we were in bachata and kizomba. Participate in a bachata competition, and we won. We were going to the finals. But at the same date of the finals, first Tevin Price is the name of this guy. He invited us to go to London to teach kizomba. The competition. So in that point, we had to take a decision: bachata or kizomba, and we chose kizomba because that was a big opportunity to travel. Because we wanted that and started to get no. So we went to London. We teach. It was really bad because bad for me. People, they appreciate, but. At that time, my English is not very good looking now, but at that time it was.
Yeah.
So I thought I was good in English, but no, I didn't know how to explain or have problem. But they were really kind with us. Then after that, we start receiving some calls from some festivals, and the one that called us was Batuk from London as well. And after we went to that festival and we did our workshops, shows, etc., then one day we start to receive a lot of requests on Facebook. Requests. The Facebook went crazy, and I started like, "What happened?" And she's like, "I don't know," but she received the same. Well, she received more than me, But we were receiving a lot of. And then we found out that was because of this No Me Toca video.
The one where you were sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
So that's for us when actually kizomba was like boom. And then there was no more bachata competitions. So we keep going on kizomba. We keep,
And that was at the Batuk? That video?
Huh? Batuk what?
The video that you had with Na Me Toca, was that?
It was a Batuk.
Okay. I'll be sure to share that video in the show notes of the podcast so that people can check it out if they haven't seen it already. But I know exactly what video that you're talking about. And I can understand why Sarah got more friend requests than you did.
Yeah. I don't have to explain.
Yes. Okay, awesome. So before we get into your viewpoints on fusing dance and things like that, I just wanted to now with your experience that you've had with kizomba and teaching kizomba and things like that, what 3 words would you use to describe kizomba and why?
First, connection. Love. It cannot be 4.
Yeah, it can be 4.
Passion and sacrifice.
Okay. So why connection?
First, connection because when I really started to the first, I knew kizomba, this student that told me, then I went with my friend to learn. Yes, the videos on YouTube, but the first time I experienced like kizomba party, kizomba like culture was in Lisbon, because I went there to learn my kizomba, because when kizomba in here in Spain there were nothing, and when I started there were 3 videos on YouTube. Cuentas de Barbosa and Tomás Keita. There were 3 videos on YouTube, those things, and I went to Lisbon to learn and to see that people can actually dance for more than 1 hour with the same person. I was like, no, how can it be possible? It has to be boring. It have to. But when you had the experience to dance, just for 30 minutes, it was like, wow, you really have something. I was like, I don't know what. It's not bad. It's not, this because I'm Latin. And when you start to dance, it's like, oh, girls, yeah. But this was different. It was not, it was like, thank you. You said thank you to your partner, and that's it. You don't have to go further than that. It was just that connection at that moment that makes you feel that you can feel the music like in just one person. And knowing and starting to know that there was this kind of connection, dancing, it was like amazing. And then the way you can start in then, because Cuenda actually, he's my master.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of teachers, but Cuenda is my wow, my guru.
Mm-hmm.
And when he started talking that it was more than a dance, it was respect. It was soul, it was music, it was energy, more than that. And you just not connected, you are not in connection with that person, but you as a teacher can connect to other people and touch other people, with your knowledge and your passion and everything. It was, a totally new experience. It's not just hip hop or not just salsa or not just. It was different. Kizomba at that moment is like, this is something totally different. That's what the connection. Then love, because I love to dance in general. But Kizomba made me grow. That's the way, in a different level of teaching. And bring me more to that feeling of loving dance, and the way I could express myself with one girl and with my students, and the way I can share my love to the dance to them. Also, Kizomba brought me that to share my love to the dance in a different way, and mainly that.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. And passion and sacrifice?
Passion, sacrifice, I think they go together in this case. Because if I didn't have that passion, I will not sacrifice as I sacrifice of things. And I will not fought the way that I fought for Kizomba and the love and the connection and everything that I wanted to share. That moment, trying to make people understand that Kizomba is something that you really need to experience, And that passion made me break a lot of walls, personal walls and society walls, because when they started, they was like, no, this dance is too close. It's just to, sorry to say this, but just to have sex, Dance 1-3 songs and they just leave and go to have sex. And I was like, no, it's not that. It's more than that. To make people, one student, then that student talk to another student and make like a network.
Yeah, it's a ripple effect.
Yeah. And to say, okay, I need to stop doing this because of Kizomba. Then I have to take this way because of Kizomba, to sacrifice. But in general, I didn't feel, because there was one point of my life that I have the decision. I was tired. I was not tired. I was sad. One moment of my life, I was really, really sad, and I was like, I'm going back to Panama. But Kizomba makes me still keep going, Like every time I was like, Kizomba was like, no, Albir, let's go. I was like, no, I'm tired. And Kizomba was like, no, Albir, at that point, because also the people they were calling, there were a lot of bad message on Facebook at that time. Also, they were really inspiring message. People talking like about our teaching, about our dancing. So the sacrifice of not being with your family, sacrifice of personal life, because they were like, I was like working 7/7, not stopping. I was like, but I can't. But at that moment, it was like, I need to do this. So I will sacrifice what I need to because I want to keep going. Then Kizomba took me more and more and more and more. And was that like, yeah, when you understand, there are many hip hop music that you like, there are hip hop music that you don't like. But when you like this in this case Kizomba, you are like, God, I need to dance.
Definitely.
You know that.
Yes.
And for me it was like that passion. I need to share that what I'm feeling with the people. That passion of you need to express.
Yeah.
That. So I think passion and sacrifice, they go hand to hand in this case.
No, I mean, that's just your message is really, really inspiring to hear. And it's been a little over 2 years now since I've been dancing Kizomba full time. So I understand the sacrifice of not being at home and your personal life and things like that, but it's almost like a personal mission, And yes, you get criticized and things like that, but I think it's almost necessary to kind of really test to make sure that you really want to do what it is that you're doing, But even if you take those criticisms and you put them to the side, you learn from them, they make you a better person, a stronger person. And then you take the inspiring messages, and it's like it kind of gives you the fuel to keep going when you hear those inspirational messages of how you're able to touch somebody in a special way, And I've been telling some people that, I mean, your job doesn't really define who you are, If you're an accountant, I mean, it may define who you are if you're really passionate about accounting or whatever your job is. But I'm pretty sure a lot of the listeners can relate to just having a job just for security or what have you, but it doesn't really define their personal passion, And it's inspiring for me to be able to inspire others to kind of, at least if it's not their full-time job, to like take more time to invest in their personal passion. So that way they're able to create those beautiful moments and those beautiful experiences that kind of you remember for a lifetime,
Yeah, that's true. Totally agree.
Let's take a quick moment to thank our sponsors. Have you been looking to level up your Kizomba, but you don't have the local instructors to take you there? Are you looking for something concrete to practice with your Kizomba partner? Or are you looking for Kizomba lessons that you can take on your schedule and the comfort of your home? If you answered yes to any of these questions, look no further. LearnToKiz.com is what you need. Progressive, step-by-step lessons that you can take at your pace in the comfort of your home or anywhere with a solid internet connection on your PC, Mac, or any smartphone. New videos are added every month. You can try this awesome resource out 30 days free at learntokiz.com/podcast. After the 30 days free, it's only a low $15 per month. But again, the special offer for the Dance Your Heart on Fire listeners, 30 days free at learntokiz.com/podcast. You won't find this offer anywhere else. learntokiz.com/podcast. And now back to our show. Awesome, brother. So let's talk a little bit about fusion. You said when you were partnering with Sarah Lopez at the beginning, like you were already fusing bachata with hip hop, and then you started to do it with kizomba and hip hop. And in my opinion, looking at the way that we have the scene now, we have the more quote unquote traditional / authentic, and then you have the more urban and neo side. In my opinion, and I'm pretty sure other people will agree as well, like I feel like you opened up the door to what is now Urban Kids, because I think you were the first one that were like trying to like do kizomba with hip hop to more modern music. And I'm pretty sure the music coming out around that time was different as well. You had Ghetto Zouk with Kaisha, Nelson Fritas, C4 Pedro, Atim, like all these guys were producing more music around that time as well to make it easier. to dance to, so you had to dance in a different way that wasn't necessarily a traditional way. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, do you feel like it was just something inside of you to like want to fuse hip hop with kizomba, or how did that process go?
When I listen to the music, to the kizomba music, you know, the ghetto souk, for me was mainly the ghetto souk, because I start with ghetto souk, not with the traditional one. For me was like, oh, this is more or less like R&B. You know? So if I can dance R&B, it's like in a different way, in couple, it's amazing.
Yes.
So I started like that. Not as many. There are many people, and I respect really that they start because it's their culture. Their culture is they grew up with this music in their houses with their family, in the backyard with the family parties and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I did the same, but in my culture, with my merengue, with my plena, with my, so I had more or less the same, but in my culture. So when I started kizomba culture, I started with the ghetto souk. So for me, it was like, oh, it's R&B. So R&B, I can mix. I will learn the basics, and then I will mix with my style, because when I saw Cuenda the first time, then I saw C. Barbosa, and then I saw Tomás Kleitas, I'm like, they are totally different. And then when I went to Lisbon, and I learned with also Cuenda, with C. Barbosa, with Pechu, with Elio Santos, and then I took also classes with Ricardo and Paula from Afro. I'm like, yeah, but they are different, completely. So then but they do the same basics. They do the same. Saída mujer, saída hombre, they do the same. So I learned the basics in the way, and then I can start fusing, doing the fusion. So that's what I did. And that's why people maybe, they like it, you know, because it was not just that kizomba, was a little bit more, maybe because of that. Plus the songs, you know, I started to use the strongest song. There's the songs that have more R&B and hip hop for me. You know, there were different sounds, because I also at that time I started to listen to some traditional, but it was not. I have to be honest. At that moment, I was not into the old school kizomba. You know, I was more motivated by the old style, the modern ones. So that's why I started mainly to fuse, because of the music. The music brought me that. I need to do that for me, knowing the basics. Obviously.
Yes, for sure. The basics are very important. And that's kind of the same thing that I explain to my students. It's like, you still respect the culture, you respect the people that came before and things like that, but you have to be honest with the feeling that you have inside, you know? And that inspirational fire desire comes out when you hear the R&B sounding kizomba. It's like, I have to go dance this, you know? And if you bring that energy to your classes, to your dancing and things like that, people will fall in love with it, or they'll be able to connect to that, you know, versus if you're teaching something that you're not as passionate about, I'm pretty sure people will be able to pick up on that as well, and it might not inspire people the same way, you know?
Yeah, that's it. As you said, you need to express. If you, that's for example one thing that when I was talking with Sara Lopez when we did Africa Danzar, he said we have two options, or we have to go into the African style shows, or we are going to do our stuff, and we decided to do our stuff, even though they were going to we knew it, and they criticized us a lot, but we have to say that we won the second place. So it was good for us, winning the second place with that fusion and everything. Yeah.
So looking back on all the times that you were criticized in the past and being where you are today, how do you feel? I'm pretty sure you might still get criticism today. How do you view the criticism, and what advice would you give to people who, not just in kizomba, but I'm pretty sure in other dances, sometimes people get criticized for doing something that's different. What helped you get over those criticisms, and what advice would you give to people who also receive criticisms in their dance or in their expression of art?
The main advice that I have to make to the people is, well, two of them.
Mm-hmm.
First, don't look to Facebook. Second, if you look to Facebook, don't answer those messages. Because I know and I feel the same. When you see those messages, you can feel in those messages the envy, the hate, the bad energy, and you want so much to answer to them. You want so much. But and people, I say, Albir, don't answer to those things. Keep doing your stuff. And it's true. If you answer to those messages, okay, you answer, and you think that you answer in a good way, no? You express all what you needed to say. But then you receive another message back. And then you answer again. And then it's
like a black hole.
Yeah. It's not going to be. So I think the best answer that you can give to those messages is your work and your passion and your love for what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
You just express what you keep doing what you love, and that's what this case, for example, Ellie that is in here, she told me, don't pay attention to that. More people, organizers even, Albir, don't pay attention to those things. You need to know who you are. You've been working now lately. They told me you've been working now in Kizomba for 10 years, and you are still here. You know how many people, and it's hard still to be here. 10 years. How many people they came in, they are out. Many people but also there are many people that we start more or less at the same time, and we are still in here, and it's hard to keep going at this position. But it's hard, and it's sad to read those messages, even not just from the people. The students, they are free to decide. They are free to express as well. So they have their favorite teachers, favorite dancers,
favorite types of music.
Yeah, it's like that. But it's sad when you read these messages from teachers that you're supposed to work in the same direction. It's supposed that we have to be together for the same purpose. But now I know that the purpose of most of them is not kizomba. I'm sorry. But it's not kizomba, but it's not that love, that passion. Is to don't be outside of this world, to keep going, I don't want to lose students, I need to earn money, I know. That is the I want to be the first, I'm the best one. That's the feeling that most of them they have.
Mm-hmm.
And for me it's not good, because lately I receive these messages, and I thought that I had some entre comillas. I use entre comillas in
between friends, or supposed
between that that they were going to support me, and they didn't. So I found out myself not alone, because there were few of them that they called me, even like, Albir, don't pay attention to this, keep going, but a lot of them, they were like, really, I was mad and sad to understand that there are false people, false people that they just want, for example, organizers, they just use your name because they want to get people into your festivals. But I will keep doing the same as doing from the start. Try not to pay attention and still doing what I love.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it sounds simple, but it's not easy to do. You know, I feel it takes practice. It takes. You have to have a support system. I feel, you know,
Yeah.
and you have to be able to fall back on that support system, and then over time, you can definitely find out who your true supporters are and who your true friends are. Because it's funny hearing you say that, because I've gone through the same thing where I've had friends before kizomba, and after kizomba, like those friends, like they just kind of disappear, you know.
Yeah.
But other people show up that really support you, and they're there to push you when you're down and say, don't stop, keep going. And you would think that those people that are supporting you would have been the ones that you had before kizomba, you know, or the people that will support your work, but it's not, you know. And I think it's important because, like, I feel it's not even just with us in kizomba, but just outside of kizomba. If you talk to any successful person, that it's going to be the same story. Critics is going to be people talking bad. It's going to be ignoring what they say. It's going to be fighting for what you love, fighting for your dreams, and it's just that passion. And I think it's just something everybody has to go through to get to the top, because not everybody can go through that, you know.
Yeah, and there are two things that also I've been saying lately, that, you know, I not lucky or less lucky or without luck, I don't know. I grew up in my culture. Now I'm into a different culture with kizomba. I respect this culture. I appreciate what this culture have given to me, and I keep going with that. Because, you know, the different styles, blah 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 blah. But everyone is free to decide. Everyone. Now I wish that I will have one maybe, that can sit with me. You know, the ones who are calling themselves the pioneers. I say pioneers. Pioneers, the masters, and everything. Talk to me and be, you know, give me that good energy. Don't slap my face with those sad words and bad energy. No, because I come from Panama. Okay, my social dance, one of my social dance in Panama of the traditional culture, is called pindin. You know,
I haven't heard of that.
Okay, you will find that now.
Okay.
It's a kind of cumbia, but it's nice. Well, I like it. For sure, there are many people I would see, they would say, that's I don't like that. But, you know, but that's my culture, and I dance like that. I'm Latin, I'm Panamanian, I come from that culture. I love my culture, my Latin culture, and I'm proud of being Panamanian. But and if someone, for example, one teacher from one, maybe I'm going to try to be random, maybe one Angolan teacher, he goes to Panama and he's teaching, he knows this Angolan teaching, he knows how to dance salsa, bachata, kizomba, semba, Afro house. But then he goes to Panama and he discovered this pindin social dance, you know? And he's like, oh, I love this dance. So he learned the dance and he take the pindin dance into Africa, Europe, wherever he's working. And he started to teach. And because of YouTube and Facebook, I see and I realize that this Angolan teacher is teaching pindin in some school. He posts one video on YouTube and he's not good dancing pindin. I'm not going to destroy him. I'm not going to say that what he's doing is bad. I'm not going to say that he's doing beep shit. I'm not going to say that he's garbage or trash. I'm not going to, no, I'm going to try to help him to improve his pindin dance and be grateful because he got interested in my culture and bringing that dance to another part of the world. You know, instead of doing what they are doing. That's the sad thing. I will be grateful. Instead of that, I will say, okay, you're not doing in a good way. Can I try? Can I help you? Can I try to do this? Can I, can I let you know about my culture? I will try to do that, not what they do, because they even one Angolan teacher steps on another Angolan teacher, and that's sad, because then the people that comes from other culture like me, you're like, I want to learn about your culture, but if you are fighting between you, why I'm not going to fight? You are teaching me to fight into this kizomba, amazing for me, loving world. You are teaching me to fight. You are teaching me to have this envy. You are teaching me to have this bad energy. No, teach me the good stuff. That's what I think we missed already.
I hear you. Definitely. Very good thoughts. Very good thoughts. I like your mindset of being having gratitude, over being envious or trying to be negative about it, But it depends on the type of person overall, Like if you are a grateful, more open-minded person, then you'll see that. And then if you're more in your mindset and just closed off, then you might have more negative emotions,
Yeah.
Okay, so two topics to kind of finish the podcast here on an interesting note. The first topic is going to be your thoughts on Urban Kids, and then we'll talk a little bit about your partnerships in Kizomba, and how that experience has been for you. But first, let's talk about Urban Kids. Like I said before in the podcast, I think you opened the door to what is Urban Kids now, just fusing it with hip hop and stuff like that. And now Urban Kids, they're fusing it with Zouk, and they're fusing it with tango, and they're fusing it with hip hop and all this kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on Urban Kids? Do you feel that you are an Urban Kids dancer?
No. No, I respect what they are doing because it's what they feel. I know that I started with trying to do this fusion because I felt it to do, and maybe these Urban Kids teachers, they had that vibe for me on doing also their stuff. Like, okay, we don't have to look just in one direction. We can open a little bit, that vision and try to do. Maybe I was some kind of, if he do it, I can do, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I opened the door or no. But for me, in this case, it's good to look in a more open vision, Yeah, obviously having respect, obviously teaching in a good way, because to respect the students, obviously, what you are teaching. But now there are many styles, like for example. Now saying just Urban Kids, for example, and traditional. For me, in my vision of teacher, you as a teacher, you like it or not, you need to teach traditional, you need to teach Urban Kids. Because when your students, they go to a festival, and maybe the festival is more Urban Kids, or maybe the festival is more, imagine that I just teach Urban Kids. When they go to a traditional festival, more traditional festival, and they're like, Albir, I don't know how to dance. And if they in the opposite side, it's the same. So now it's like I need to teach a little bit of everything, of every style, so they can feel that. But then I will teach you my technique, my methodology, my way of feeling that. But as a good teacher, I think you need
let them know of everything that's out there.
Yes, that's it. And because that's one thing that the teachers, they don't understand. The students, they are free. They are going to take, yes, you like it or not, they are going to take their decision. If they want to leave you, they are going to leave you. You cannot keep the students forever. So you cannot close their vision. You need to open to make them decide. If they decide to stay with you, wow, great. If they decide to go to another teacher, you will feel sad, yes. But it's the decision. They are free, as you are free to take your decisions and to choose whatever you want, you know? But yeah, going back, I think I don't dance urban keys. I do what I feel. And what I feel, I think, is a mix of everything.
Yeah, I hear you. And now it's like, I guess some people are using urban kids as an umbrella term to say, okay, he doesn't dance in the traditional way, so he's dancing more like the urban kids guys, you know. But I mean, as a dancer, as a teacher, if you say, okay, well, I don't dance urban kids. I never said that I dance urban kids. But if your way to view urban kids is just a non-traditional way, then it makes sense, you know. But even now, we have so many different styles to dance kizomba in a non-traditional way, you know. So it really does cater down to style. And then you also have a lot of different traditional ways to dance kizomba, you know. So
that's the thing, because there's the traditional. The teachers and dancers that have the more traditional vibe into their bodies, they dance completely different from each other. And the urban keys also, they are the same. There are some fundators, the founders of urban keys, but they dance totally different. They are not the same. And for example, the first time, and I know that he went to your festival and you did a podcast with him, Laurent. Wow. This couple, for me, they are amazing. The first time I saw, and I sometimes I like to receive these slaps from life a lot of times. When you're like, you think that you are right, and then life is like, stupid, you know. And then when I saw them first time, I was like, I like the style, but I think it's too much. And I talked, and actually we had a really nice conversation. And he will tell you the first time we went to Malaysia, and we talked about this, and I was like, yeah, I didn't like. For me, it was too much fusion. But I remember that then I saw them in Geneva in one festival, and I was like, God, but they know how to dance zouk. God, they know how to dance semba. Oh, but they know how to do tarrachiña. Oh God, they are amazing in Afro house. I was like, chuprash on my face, you know, because it was not what they were doing, actually what they were feeling. That's what this about, you know. And they show me that they can dance the basics, the traditional, the everything, you know, and that's it. If you do what you feel, but you respect, you have your basics, you learn about the culture, you learn about the history. And if all they get together and tell the history in a better way, it will be even better for the new people like us, you know, that came into the culture. But you can do what you feel if you have this respect and these, you know, these values as Laurent and Adeline, you know. The job, what they are doing for me is amazing. It's really nice.
Yes, and I saw the video that you guys did together where you switch partners with Sarah. I think that was at, which festival was that?
It was in Rome.
Yes, Roma. Nice. I'll put that video in the show notes for the people as well if they haven't seen it. Awesome, Albir. So our last meaty topic here is going to be kizomba partnerships. I'm pretty sure the people who have been following you for a long time know that you were partners with Sarah Lopez, and then you're partners with Carola, and now you're partners with Sarah Panero. So I'm pretty sure, I know it's not easy to keep the dance partnerships, and sometimes you grow in different ways and things like that. So sometimes people, like the fans, look at it as like, oh no, why did they break up? They were my favorite and things like that, but they don't know like the backstory behind it, you know? So I just wanted to give you a few minutes to kind of talk about your experiences through that from the beginning to where you are now.
So yeah, when I started with Sarah Lopez was really good. But as you said, there was at one point that we start to want different things. That's what it came. We have some issues, as some normal couples. Then, some discussions, some then we talk, we solve, and no, yes, and at the end it's like, okay, now it's time to split. You want some things, I want some different things. It's like that, and that's it. That's it. No big deal. People they're like, no, because you were a couple, blah blah blah. So yeah, and yeah, that's life, and people need to accept that. Then with Carola also was, but with Sarah obviously it was amazing. It was amazing. It was good when we started. What we did for Kizomba.
Yeah, you two were kind of iconic for Kizomba when you guys, especially with the performance that you guys did in the spacesuits. I think that was like people's most favorite performance of you guys, and I'll put that one in the show notes too for you guys to see that as well.
But actually, people they don't tell me that was the best one. They like a lot the one in was I do the Steve Urkel.
Okay, yeah, I'll put both of those in there. I know which one you're talking about. I saw you guys do that one in San Francisco when I saw you at Got Kizomba, so
yeah,
that was cool. So what we're going to say about Carola?
Carola, it was also a really nice experience. It was just 1 year and a half, but it was really good. She's so professional, so so good with people. But also, it was a different thing. Life sometimes calls you in a personal aspect. And you take decisions, and she took the decision, and I respected that decision. And that, she said, I cannot work like this anymore. And I say, okay, so that's it. I cannot say, I have to respect that, even though I didn't want it. I told her, I don't want to stop with you. I want to keep. But she said, but I have, life is calling me in another way, another type of story. So I was like, okay, good. But it was really good. And then now with Sara Panero also, she's really good. She's professional. She can dance almost everything. We work in a good way, but also life in this case. I'm old and she's young. That's the summary. And she's in that, that bubbling of, I want to dance, as when I started. But she's 23 now, I'm 36, so it's a big difference. So, we will see what happens. But everything, I think, if we will continue, we'll continue, good. If we stop, it will stop, good. It's just about decisions.
Yeah.
Because now, as I've been saying in a lot of festival videos, I want to set my life now. I want to be more calm. I want to relax, even though it's not happening that much because many festival and stuff to do. But that's why I'm starting some new projects, because I want to be more at home. I want to travel, yes, but not as much as I'm traveling right now. So Sarah maybe in the future will continue also, because she's still young. She has a lot to learn. She have a lot to live. Life has to hit her a lot of also to have this experience to grow up, like a dancer and as a person. But it's like that. We will see what happens.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate you sharing that part, because I know it's complicated. It's not so simple sometimes, So you mentioned some new projects and wanting to settle down more, and especially we can all understand that after 10 years of living the lifestyle of traveling and not being at home, and this country this week and then the next country that week and things like that, is going to be awesome. We're also really excited to have you here at the Neo Kizomba Festival next year. It'll be awesome to bring you there for a Kizomba festival as well.
Really nice to be there next year.
So, would you like to share with our listeners some of the projects, or are they still top secret, or?
No, they are still. They started to run last week. We are making, we have a new page called randomroots.com. And in there, we are going to have teams, choreography groups, teams, streaming videos, in the future merchandising, a lot of things. We are starting right now with the teams, selling the teams, and actually is a good answer, a good response from the people, actually, in so little time. So we are happy because of that. Also, we had to take some decisions. Yeah, we need to keep forward now in this project. We started with Laurent Edeline, Donald Anelli, Sarah and myself. We start with this project in a group. We start dancing. We did a choreography in Feeling in the festival in Madrid. And after that, we need to promote in a different sense because people, they like choreographies and everything, but we need to move the page and the system and everything a different way before starting to do now the different choreographies in group in a different way. So we start first with the teams, and also is Cork and Judith from Bachata. They are participating, so also they are really good. But we still have in mind now actually the group, to work in our choreographies and also in that level in festivals. And this project, I also have my classes still in Madrid. I want to keep going with that, or should I never stop. Since I came in here and I started, I never stopped doing classes, and still want to do that. And also my personal life, I have my girlfriend right now, and we see what happened also, because at some point, she's a dancer also as well. So we will see what happened. We are doing some classes also together and everything. So life is smart, and she knows how to move. So we have just to keep the flow. Sometimes we need to change to say, life, hey, don't go that fast. But yeah, so we will see what happened with all of this. But we are starting to change. And also Ellie is helping me to do this. So I have a good support for this change.
That's awesome. I can't wait to meet her. So Albir, I really appreciate all your time thus far, the answers, the openness. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be really, really, really excited to hear this interview, and are going to love you even more after they hear the interview. So at this time, I'd like to just give you the microphone just to kind of give any last message that you want to give to the people in dance, in kizomba in general, whatever you feel like saying.
Well, as I have on my body written, live your dreams and try to be as happy as you can. Don't let people tell you what you need and what you have to do. You need to do what you feel in your heart and in your body to do, You have to keep that soul fresh, to really express what you have in it. Because if one day you regret, I think you need to regret about what you did, not what you have not done. Is that the way to say it?
Yeah. It's better to regret the things that you did versus the things that you didn't do.
Yeah, that's it. For me, if you feel something, just do it. Obviously, you need to have respect. You need to give everything with love and that passion, but follow what is in your soul, in your body, in your heart. Sometimes you will have to take hard decisions, really hard, really, really hard. And sometimes when you start doing those decisions, maybe you're going to feel that, oh God, I think I took the wrong decision. But if you feel a little bit, just a little bit like, no, maybe not, that maybe not, maybe it's going to be oh God, thank you, I did this. So just keep going on what you feel, really. Because It works. It worked for me. It was hard. It's still hard, but I'm happy.
If you would choose to do it all over again, if you got a chance to do it all over again.
Yeah, I will. I think I will. I will take some things out, but I will do it again. Yes, I will do it again. Yeah, I'm still doing the decisions that I took before. For example, my family. They're still far away, but I'm still in here, and that's it. Yeah, I will do it again. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for the inspiration, Albir. You've inspired me, and I'm pretty sure you've inspired a lot of other people as well to continue to dance kizomba and to dance what you feel and follow your heart, and it doesn't have to necessarily be what other people do, but it has to make you happy at the end of the day, So for our listeners who want to follow you or find out more about you, how can they reach you? Where should they reach out to you? You mentioned your website. Go ahead and let the people know.
Yeah, for the website of the teams, now the webpage is randomroots.com. You can follow and find you can see, you can scroll up, you can scroll down, you can click, you just look and try to see what is in there. About the teams and the streaming and everything. Then for the bookings from now is booking albirsara@gmail.com. And for the webpage is on his Facebook is Albir Rojas Uno mainly. Those is my personal one. So Albir Rojas Uno is mainly for my job, my work, and everything.
Okay, I'll be sure to put those links on there for the people to follow you and check out the website. I'll check out the website as well and see what's going on. So once again, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for making those tough decisions. So because it's definitely inspiration for us here who are kind of not really following your footsteps, but for people who took inspiration from you, and then with that inspiration you gave to them, they're able to inspire other people,
That's it. A network, a kizomba network.
Yes, definitely. All right, brother, have a good night.
You too, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for checking out the Dance Your Heart on Fire podcast today. Be sure to check out neokizomba.com for links to everything that we chatted about today, as well as some awesome free resources to enhance your kizomba journey.